Hey YouTube, just a quick update on the fuel line setup on the 68 Mustang project. Got the engine side plumbed up now. I'm using a Aeromotive Generation 2 direct fit fuel tank, and that's got the fuel injection system on it. So I have a supply and return line, and that runs on a -6 on the supply and return side. So talking to the Aeromotive guys, they said this is the pressure regulator I needed. It's a 2-stage pressure regulator. So you got high pressure, low pressure. Recommendations were on the high pressure side, running at about 12 psi, and set up for the carburetor on your typical 6. This is a 780 quick fuel carburetor, and I made a choke bracket, manual choke bracket for this. And what that did was the conventional, this is on the quick fuel, it's 9.5 inches from your vacuum to your primaries, sets 9.5 inches apart, and that's a 7/8 20 thread. So the bridles that are out there for that, or the fuel supply side, doesn't really fit that geometry, so I had to make my own. These are 3-inch stems, and then this is all -8 and -8 on the supply side, low pressure from the pressure regulator. And I wanted a little bit of flexibility, so I made a little bit longer leg here with a 180-degree bend in it, giving it a little bit more flexibility for vibration. If I needed a little bit more, I could probably space the bracket that holds this up. And then the other thing on the pressure regulator, the Aeromotive bracket that comes with it seems like it put a tremendous amount of torque on 2 fasteners, so I wanted something a little bit stronger. I made a bracket that holds the whole weight of the regulator. Just seemed like it would not hold up to the test of time, so you can't really see it, but it supports the entire weight of the regulator. And then I need one more gauge on the high pressure side over here. This is the high pressure port for you don't need one. I could just switch it off, set the pressure, and then move it over. But so, and then this is my supply side here, and it comes into, this is the 2-inch, I think it's a 10 micron filter. The recommendation was to get that as close to the carburetor as you can, and then hopefully the goal would be to intercept anything on the line side. And that comes down through the fire, well, to where the battery used to be. And then I have a through-wall bulkhead fitting. I've just welded in a little backup on it. And then on the return side port, which is down here, that's where that comes out. And I don't know if you can see how I plumb that down through. I've got to still get some things to hold, but that's brackets to hold the cables and such. But on the 68 Mustang, the fuel line came on the passenger driver side, so I'm going to have 2 lines coming through. And what I did is I welded in a sleeve going through the torque box. It's an 1.5 inch, 16 gauge galvanized, basically exhaust pipe piece, aluminized, welded in from both sides, so it's very strong and pretty clean. I did pitch it down a little bit so things wouldn't sit in there, and probably after I get the line sets, when the car goes together, I'll seal that up so I don't get a lot of gook hanging out from the tire washback. So that's, again, the car's not going to be driven in day to day. It's going to be for good weather and hopefully lots of fun. So like as I said, both sides, both return lines are -6, and from the pressure regulator I ran -8. I don't think there's anything else. Where I have the battery used to be, I'm going to be installing my catch can for my overflow, which will set like this. I'm going to weld in some bungs it's slightly different plumbing how it's set up right now, so I've got to do some changes there. But anyway, this is update. I'm going to be working on the supply and return lines under the chassis. Hopefully that'll be the next step, and finish up all the fuel lines. Anyway, thank you guys. Have a good day. Bye.